Hey guys, all right, here we go. So I've already primed everything. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put one more coat on this paint. I'm using this Graco Ultra Max sprayer. Actually, this isn't Ultra Max, this is just the Ultra. But I just want to talk about these tips for a minute. So there are different tips that you can put in these sprayers, and there's 3 numbers on here that tell you a few things about what you're spraying. So if you're wondering what you should be spraying with, you should just look on your can of paint. This is the other reason why I love Sherwin Williams, is right on the can of paint right here, it tells you the PSI that you should be spraying at, and then it says the size of the tip. So this is a 0.013 inch to 0.017. And that's the size of the actual hole that's in these tips right here. So when I was priming, I didn't have this smaller tip that I had. All I had was what came with the gun, and it was a 514. So that's gonna give me a 10-inch wide spray band. That's what that 5 is. And so that's way too wide for this. So I went through way more paint than I should have. And so I just ordered a smaller tip here, and this is a 212. So it's on the lower end from the volume side. The 2 means that you just double that first number. That's gonna tell you how wide your spray is. So this will give me a 4-inch spray, and the opening of this tip is 0.012. So this particular sprayer uses a rack 10 sprayer. That's what this tip is. So you can use these fine finish tips. What this little FF on the sprayer head, it allows you to actually spray at about half the pressure that you would normally spray at in a normal gun. So right here it said 2000 PSI. This morning when I was spraying, I was about half of that because I'm using this fine finish tip. So it really does help you be able to spray at a lower pressure, but still atomize the paint and get a nice even spray. So all we're gonna do here, open our can of paint. This sprayer really does make it easy. You just pop it off, fill up the cup. Now I bought this sprayer because some of these smaller jobs I'm doing, like priming these cabinets, I really didn't want to, be cleaning my big sprayer out. I don't know, from a time standpoint, it seems like the cleanup is almost exactly the same. The difference is this little sprayer I can clean up in my kitchen sink rather than having to be outside. And since I'm working all day, my normal job, and then I come home and I'm at night and it's really cold outside right now, I really don't want to have to hook up a hose to my other sprayer in order to clean out all the hoses and everything like that. So this just makes it a lot easier for me to just clean everything out right here in my sink. So just like when I primed it, you just screw this cup on. We're going to put this right into the gun here. We're going to prime, get all the air out of this cup until the paint squeezes up top. We're going to run the primer here. This gets the paint going through the pumps. We're going to run it for 10-15 seconds. And that's it. And then these tips have a cool little feature in them. If you ever have a little clog, if it starts to spray kind of funny, you can actually turn these around. So this is actually what it should look like while you're spraying. But you can turn it this way and it'll spray out. So if there's a little clog or a chunk or anything that happened to make it through the screen and the little filter screen on this, then you can just blow it out and then go back to spraying again. And it is really nice. I've had to use that a time or two. So we'll just get to laying some paint down here. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back over here again just like I did. I'm just gonna make sure that the pressure I'm spraying at is going to spray the way I want it to and not leave any tails. They call it tails when you get a little bit of shadowing when you're painting. You want to avoid that. And that is getting a little bit of the water that was still in the spray head out, but looks like we're just about there. And that is putting out a really nice spray in the fan. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get these cabinets here. And as you can see, I boxed these cabinets in here with this MDF and this crown. I just masked everything off so I can spray the crown and the cabinets all at the same time. I'm still getting the tips and tricks of this part down. I had a few on the last cabinet I sprayed. I had a few runs, which you just let it completely dry. Take some 220 grit sandpaper, sand a little runoff, and then just paint right over the spot. If you're gonna be rolling it on, it's not as big of an issue, or brushing it. But when you have a paint sprayer, so easy to spray so much paint. So I've had to learn, go with a smaller tip like this that puts out less paint, and just go in thin, even coats. And even on this cabinet, I have a few spots where it ran, but it's a laundry room and it'll be all right. That's it. So I think total time in painting was maybe like 10 minutes. That's with me stopping and talking. So you can see on any of these types of projects, all the work is in the prep, because I had hours in here masking all of these things off, taping everything, caulking, getting it all ready. And then you come in here and you spray it and it takes like no time at all. But so I think really the biggest thing is you have to decide if you want to spray it. Do you want to take all of your time prepping? Or do you want to just get in here and start rolling and painting and have all of your time being rolling and painting? There's no doubt that you get a way better finish. It's smoother when you spray it versus a roller or a brush. You're just going to get lines and a little bit of texture from a roller that you just don't get from a sprayer. But you also don't get spots where you create runs. So I do have a run on this side of the cabinet that I just noticed from the first time. I didn't notice it before this. So, but I'm gonna stick my dryer right there, so I'm not gonna be super worried about it. So anyway, if you have any questions, shoot them over to me about painting your cabinets. The next step is I'm gonna be taking all these doors that I took off and we're gonna prep them, prime them, and then after we prime them, we'll fill them, because there's gonna be little spots that we wanna fill. I'm gonna show you how I fill those in, and then we'll hit them with a final coat of paint, and then all we have left is just hang the doors back up.